This story is the Camp Lohican Wars. I started the great institution of summer camp at a Girl Scout camp called Kettle Run. It is in the Pine Barrens of South Jersey. Beautiful tracts of land, bird watching, hiking, bury some bodies. Worst thing we learned as a Camp Kettle Run, don't wander off by yourself. So it was a Girl Scout camp. It was very low key. We swam in the lake, it was cedar. We learned how to paddle canoes. We did a lot of nature walks and worked on our badges. And after every meal, we sang. And we found out I was allergic to bees, which meant a trip to the infirmary, so I didn't have to help with cleanup. But I was the stereotypical kid, fat, Coke bottle glasses, not many social skills, very poorly coordinated. But Camp Kettle Run was, as they say in Yiddish, heimish. It was comfortable. I kind of liked it. I did learn to swim, and all the girls were from my home troop, so I knew most of them. Well, 4 years went by. 1965, my parents said, try something new. Let's try a different kind of camp. We were moving to St. Louis, so my mother had to go find us a place to live, which meant myself and siblings had to be parked somewhere for a month. And we looked at camps, including some of the Poconos and one that offered horseback riding, which I thought was pretty cool. And I said, can I go? And my mother said, well, you won't know. Oh, I want to ride. Okay. So I arrived at Camp Lohican for the second session. Bear in mind, the other girls had been there already for 4 weeks. They all knew each other. They knew each other from home. I realized with my trunk that I had been dumped on another planet. There were cabins, not tents. There were showers. We didn't have a latrine. The girls were already wearing makeup. They did their hair a lot, and they were wearing bras. It was also a boy. There was co-ed, so there were boys, which meant socials and dances, and I just did not fit in anywhere. I wrote letters that nobody paid any attention to, demanding to come home. It was a terrible experience. The last couple of weeks, as the summer drew to a close, the staff realized they had to do something for the last week, and I think they were all as sick of it as we were. So they came up with the color wars, or the Olympics. We're all going to have teams. I was in the girls section. We were the Meadowlarks, and we would be part of the team of Norway. And the boys in the bear section would also be Norway. And then somebody made a suggestion that seemed like I might be okay with this. They needed somebody to write songs. They knew that I was good with words. I could do that. God knows when they picked up teams, I was not the one picked. I was always last, but I could write stuff. And they paired me up with my counterpart in the Bears, Michael Popkin. Michael was my counterpart, chubby, Coke bottle glasses, pretty socially awkward. And we met behind the infirmary. We kind of looked at each other the way people who are socially awkward get thrown together and know why we're there. And I said to Michael, we're supposed to write songs. Michael said, I don't listen to pop music. I don't listen to that stuff. I don't know what I said. Well, I do. And this being 1965, what came into mind was Herman's Hermits. My Herman's Hermits song about Henry VIII. I'm Henry VIII, I am. So I said, we're going to do this. We had no pens. And we went through it line by line by line, and we wrote this song. It was fun. Michael actually laughed, which he didn't do much, and I sang part of it. I won't treat you to the whole thing, but it starts out with, we are Norway Vikings, we are Norway Vikings, we are, because we were the Vikings. And we finished that one, and Michael said they want another. I said, okay, Petula Clark's Downtown. It was a great song. So we wrote a second one. I don't remember what it was, fortunately. But by that time, Michael and I were like, hey, this is pretty neat. Nobody was making fun of us. Nobody was picking us last. My glasses weren't falling off every 2 seconds. This was pretty cool. Well, come the day, Michael and I sang the songs. The Norway people laughed. They said it was great. We were promoted to flag raisers. We had to raise the flags. I don't remember who won or who lost. The Norway could have won, lost, or dropped dead. I didn't care. But what I do remember, I didn't get a trophy, was that Michael and I got to say goodbye to each other at the end of camp, kind of like colleagues, not boyfriend, we weren't there yet, but kind of like colleagues, that we found something that we realized was pretty good. And when my mother picked me up and she said, after all those dramatics, was it that bad? And I said, you know, I think I'm going to be a writer. I think I'm going to be a writer, and I think I'm eventually going to tell stories. So although I don't know if Norway won, lost, or dropped dead, but I know that I won something, was that I learned I could make fun with words. I also learned many years later, Michael is now a very eminent cardiologist on Long Island.